I'd like to thank again all the speakers for being here and giving so much information. I must say, when I started in this Parliament in 2009, since then I've had a few moments of amazement. Some of them are about the way things are organized within this House, but I won't bother you with that. The others are more relevant to what we're talking about. And I had these moments maybe more than in other fields in the fisheries field. A few months ago, I hosted a movie in the Environment Committee. It was a WWF movie about bluefin tuna catches. And it was about the way the French authorities were working together to sort of make illegal catches legal again. And I think that touches upon our main problem in the whole illegal fisheries issue, and also on the whole issue of fishing too much fish. It's the member states who are responsible for enforcement, controls, etc., and they're just not doing their job. They're not interested. They have other interests that are more important to them than to continue catching fish for the coming decades. And they work together quite often with people who catch above quota or catch in an illegal way. And despite people like Mr. Pistorio, who are working hard to fight this thing, I think that that the way member states are working against a real good system of enforcement is one of the main problems. Therefore, I would like to give Commissioner Damanaki credit for what she is doing. I think she is doing a very good job at the moment within the Commission. Certainly compared to some of her predecessors who were more advocating the interests of the fisheries sector than fighting for the common interest. I think the current Commissioner, Mrs. Damanaki, is absolutely on the right track. But she has the same difficulty that she's confronted with member states who are not willing to do what they are supposed to do. She has told about the December Council where the quota are set, that despite all the biological evidence that certain species should not be fished anymore, the member states continue trying to get higher quota. So I think again that is where our main problem lies. Looking at her presentation today, of course, I still have a few doubts about what she is saying. I think it's amazing to imagine that we're talking about a 10 billion euro market, the illegal fisheries, 20% of worldwide catches. It's almost impossible to believe that it's that large. I liked very much what she was saying about that it's unacceptable that public aid goes to vessels that have been caught of illegal practices. On the other hand, we heard other stories about this so-called black list, which is, as I understood, is in the hands of the regional management authorities. And, well, at the moment we have no vessels on it, and I hope in the summer we'll get a few. But it's a bit strange if you hear the stories from Mr. From Mr. Thurston of fishsubsidies.org. You see the real figures about subsidies and illegal fishing and vessels that continue receiving subsidies. I think that is really unacceptable. And my question to the Commissioner would have been, but maybe some of the people here know the answer, how long will someone be on the black list? I mean, it's apparently extremely difficult to get on the black list, but even when you get that far, how long will someone be on the blacklist. I think it's so unacceptable that you continue receiving funds after being caught with illegal activities, that maybe we should keep companies a little bit longer on the blacklist. Another thing that I would put forward is the issue of transparency. I was shocked by the fact that we are going into the wrong direction when it concerns transparency. I'm a strong believer in transparency in general, not just on fisheries, but in general. It is the main tool we have to, the main controlling tool that we have. So as long as we don't have sufficient transparency, it's almost impossible for those organizations that are on the right track in controlling to do their job properly. Let me go through everything that has been said. I heard the Commissioner talk about trying to come to an international effort through the Regional Fisheries Organization to come to some sort of worldwide catch certification system. I think the idea is brilliant, very good idea. But if I see how difficult it is to come to international agreement on quota, for instance, bluefin tuna. I was in Japan at the end of October during the Nagoya Biodiversity Summit and had a meeting with members of the Japanese Parliament. And at the day that Japan made enormous offers to the summit, financial offers, other offers, to really come to a successful conclusion of the summit, my Japanese colleagues said that they would never allow any limitations in bluefin tuna quota because it was their culture. And, well, I think that is a serious problem. So getting this worldwide catch certification system, wonderful idea, but I hope that the Commissioner is going to receive any support from this from other parts of the world. Let me check what else I wanted to say. Yes, I believe subsidies play a decisive role in the way we are trying to get our oceans as empty as possible. There's a direct link between subsidies and overcapacity. I've seen it in my own country, the Netherlands, where vessels were taken out of business, but other vessels were modernized, and the end result was that the capacity was even larger than before. And it's very strange that we continue with these subsidies in this way. We have had several international agreements on phasing out environmentally harmful subsidies. We've had them on fossil fuels. The G20 made an agreement on this. But again, going back to Japan, the Nagoya Summit on Biodiversity, we agreed as European Union and all member states that by 2020 we have phased out all, and I emphasize this, all environmentally harmful subsidies. And I believe that's almost half of the whole fisheries budget that we have. So, and it might be even a much larger amount. That doesn't mean that we cannot use this money for very good reasons. Well, the gentleman from the Italian Fisheries Union has left, but I think that it's very wise to use the money to a large extent to find other economic or other income sources for people who work in the fisheries sector, because one thing is absolutely sure, we will have to go down in capacity. I would like to conclude with that. Enforcement by member states is top priority. That is extremely difficult. It is not something that is difficult to understand. It's just very difficult to get it politically through. And I hope that not just within this European Parliament, but also in the member states, national parliamentarians will try to fight for this. And my final remark is on these subsidies. Please let us come up with a serious roadmap to get rid of all, not just in the fisheries environment, but all environmentally harmful subsidies. They are going against other policies, and that is something that we shouldn't do, especially in these times where we don't have sufficient money at all. Thank you.
Grazie. Grazie, una buona...
Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everyone.